Welcome back to the channel. This is Simon Cromer, and today I'm doing a video on the difference between Starke Ignition and Starke Triple P. Now, I get a lot of questions on what are the difference between these two products and are they interchangeable in the detailing process. Now, I'm going to answer and clear up a lot of questions today. You're going to want to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's dive into the video right now. Let's begin by talking about Starke Ignition. Now, Starke Ignition is part of a 4-series product line within the Starke Yacht Care brand for surface restoration. So, what do these products include? Well, we have Starke Level R, our heavy cut compound. We have Starke Restructure, our medium compound. We have Starke Elevate, our medium polish. And finally, we have Starke Ignition, our finishing polish, which is going to finish down to 1500 and finer. So I do have a video on these 4 products I just mentioned. If you want to learn more, which I do recommend because it will help you understand this video a lot more clear, go ahead and check that video out. I have the thumbnail right here on the screen. Go check that video out and then come back to this video. Now, for Starke Ignition, there are pretty much a few things that we got to discuss. Number one, we're never going to start a detail with ignition. So if we have oxidation or we have extreme oxidation, we're either going to be sanding or we're going to be starting with Starke Level R. If we have a lot of scratches in the boat, we're going to be starting with Elevate. So there's never a reason that we're going to start gel coat with ignition. So just keep that in mind as we continue this video. But there are 3 reasons where I will use ignition in the detailing business. And what these 3 reasons are for marine and auto paints, outboards, and colored gel coat. And we're going to discuss each of these right now. So auto and marine paints. What do we know about paints? Paints are hard finishes. They show a lot of scratches. They're also thinner finishes. So the clear coats are thinner than gel coat. And that's for a great purpose because cars, they're not made to be in the water. They're not made to take a lot of a beating. So we don't need as thick of a clear coat as we would like with gel coat when we're in the water and we're seeing salt and we're seeing all these harsh chemicals and the boat's banging up against docks, right? We want a little bit of a thicker product. So gel coat is going to be a little thicker. It's also going to be softer. It's going to be porous for the water. And it's not going to show as many scratches, but paint is going to show a lot of scratches. And marine paints, like I said, they're thin. So we don't want to just start, getting all these aggressive compounds like 3M Heavy and, Super Duty and all these Presta heavy cut products, Super Cut and Starke Level R, right? Because this is going to kind of wear down that paint really fast, and it's not a good idea to start with that. Now, marine paints, auto paints, they are great to start with ignition because we have a surface that is not going to be oxidized. It's really rare for paint to oxidize, and if it does, it takes a lot of years and a lot of time, but it's also a rare occasion. So Starke Ignition is great to start because we're free of oxidation and we have scratches. Now, ignition allows us to take out all these scratches, and it allows us to set us up perfectly for a primer, a wax, a ceramic coating, and it allows us to be light, not too aggressive, but it allows us to get those micro scratches out that we always see in paints that we cannot get out with Level R, and usually cannot always get out with Elevate as well because it just doesn't finish down fine enough like ignition will. Now, ignition was intended for the marine industry. Starke Yacht Care, the brand, is intended for the marine industry, but we do see a use, especially, like I said, marine paints, absolutely, but in cars as well. So that is the first take, and that is why I will use this on cars. I've used them in the past to finish out cars. It can be a first and a last step. And then, obviously, if you want to go finer, you're going to have to find different products and different brands. A lot of these car products actually start off with something like ignition. So they start at a 1500, maybe their second product, their polish is a 2000, and then they're going to finish into their micro polish with a 2500. So an excellent, versatile product, but only for specific reasons. Now, number 2 is going to be outboards. Now, you guys know outboards are very similar to paint, but the difference with outboards and why I want to mention this separately is because a lot of you guys probably have a normal boat entirely gel coat, and then your outboards are painted. So you're going to want to treat this a little different than the rest of your boat. And that's where ignition comes in good. If you're taking good care of your outboard, you're keeping up proper maintenance, and it's not getting too oxidized, you have a great opportunity to use ignition and get the results that you're looking for. Really shine up that surface, get out those scratches, which those other Starke products aren't going to offer you. So that's what you're going to want to do if you have outboards. Now, if you have really rough outboards, here's the thing with outboards. Sometimes they're single stage paint, so you just got to be careful with sanding and using aggressive products and using level R and all that stuff. But if you do have a very oxidized outboard, you're going to have to take further measures. You might have to sand, you might have to use level R, but try to, if you can, stick with ignition. And the final reason is for colored gel coat. And where this comes in is when you sand colored gel coat. If you're doing a sanding job, you're going to sand, you're going to do level R, maybe you do restructure, maybe you skip it. Then you go to elevate, you finish off with that foam, and you get the best surface you can. But the problem might be is you still have some micro scratches in that surface, and that blue, that black, that red is really going to show that. Now, if we can get ignition and we can take out those micro scratches, those little micro scratches from the sanding that we weren't able to get out in the last 2 or 3 compounding steps, we can now get out with ignition and leave us a great surface and pop that surface out and give us that extra shine and gloss and showboat look that we like to see with as few scratches as possible. So this is a great finish on colored gel coat. Now, those are the 3 reasons why I use ignition. Other than that, I don't really see a whole lot of a use for ignition. So there's not often times where I'm going to be using this product a whole lot, but these are the circumstances where I will. So I do work on a lot of center consoles. I do get a lot of outboards. I rarely get marine paints here and there. They're becoming more popular in the marine industry. So it's important to learn how to take care of marine paints, because that's the thing is a lot of the boat owners, a lot of detailers, because their marine paints are new and they're just starting to work on these boats and detail them, they're trying to treat it like gel coat, and that's a bad idea. You're going to damage your paints, and your paints are going to go bad quick. And paints are beautiful on boats. They're beautiful, absolutely stunning. Take good care of them, use the right products, and keep up on them. That's my advice there. Now, the real question comes down is, what is triple P? And really, before we even get into that, we're going to talk about, are these products interchangeable? And the answer to that is no, because ignition is part of the polishing process, right? We just talked about how this product works and where it fits into the detailing process. Ignition has nothing to do with protection. And when you're finished with ignition, what you want to do is, whether you have a boat or a car, you want to wash that down with dish soap, a degreaser, or a wax stripper. One of those products that is going to strip, wax, strip oils, and clear your surface up so that your gel coat is nice and ready to accept whatever type of protection you're going to put on your boat. So ignition is for the polishing process, for the correction process. Triple P, what I like to tell people, think of triple P as a wax. And that's a great way to think of triple P, because it's the first part of the process in protection. Why? Because triple P contains silicas, it contains SiO2, just like polymers do, just like ceramic coatings do. So these are interchangeable products. So if I'm using Hyperhold, or I believe they have Hyperhold Pro now, you can use this and your products are going to interchange, right? It's SiO2 versus SiO2. They're going to bond together and it's going to create a great protection for your boat. Same with ceramic coatings. Same with Repel Pro. Repel Pro is the best one for that. You can also use it with Liquid Door. However, with the marine graphene coating, you want to be careful. These products are not interchangeable because graphene oxide is not SiO2. So also you got to keep in mind, waxes are not SiO2. They're not silicas. Wax is a natural product, and these aren't going to bond together. So that's where you got to be careful with triple P. But triple P is not a correction product. There's no grits in this product. Can it remove swirls? It can remove minor swirls, but don't have that expectation that it will. Have the expectation that this is the first step in the protection process. Because if you're going to put triple P on your boat and you decide not to do anything else, you're going to notice this is going to water bead really nicely because of the SiO2, because of the silica, because of the added protection to your gel coat. And it's going to leave a shiny surface. And when you put this on your boat, you're going to notice the depth and the shine really come out of your boat, because that's what SiO2 does, guys. If you've ever used Replenish, that is exactly what Replenish does to your boat. This is just a product, an innovative product to do this to your boat before the finishing protection. So before the polymer, before the ceramic coating, this just kind of works along with it. Now, I like to view this as an optional product because we don't really know, does this product actually extend the life of your coatings and for how long? I personally believe that it does, but I'm not really buying that it really extends it that long, like maybe a few weeks or a month, but I'm not sold on that from what I've noticed. Personally, if you were to put this on your boat, which I've never just put this on my boat or a client's boat and just kind of watched it and kind of analyzed it and see how long this lasted as a standalone, you could try that. And then once you do that, you'll kind of know how long this product lasts. And that's really kind of how much durability that this would be adding to whatever protection you're using. So keep that in mind. SiO2 silica, this is innovative, it's new. Not many companies are utilizing this, but it is part of the protection process. It's a part to extend your coatings, and that's what it's made for. It's also great with Jescar. So if you guys have questions like Jescar Ultra Lock, great product because SiO2 with SiO2, and obviously Hyperhold Pro, those would be my favorite ones to use with Triple P. So guys, I hope this video was able to clear up a lot of questions. I wanted to make this as informative as possible. This ignition is a polishing and correction product. Now, Triple P on the other hand is a wax. I like to call it a wax because that's essentially what it is. It's an SiO2, it's a silica, it's added protection for your boat. And how you do the application on Triple P is once you finish all your correction, whether you're stopping at elevate, stopping at ignition, right? And this works for paints, it works for gel coat. So you don't have to question if you want to use it for your car, your outboard, your, whatever. You can use Triple P. Just make sure that you give your boat a good wash, a good IPA wipe, something to get all the oils off the boat. Use this first, and then use your true form of protection, whether that's a polymer or a ceramic coating, but not a graphene ceramic coating, and you're going to be set. So that is what these two products are, guys, and I hope this video was able to clear up so many questions. If you guys still have questions, just be sure to drop your question in the comments below, and I will get that answered as soon as possible, or try to answer that question in a video like I'm doing today. Guys, I'm in a new studio. We have a better setup. I'm super excited to be bringing better and higher quality content to you guys. Always remember, you can purchase my online detailing course, Detail Like a Pro, which is formulated and made for detailers just getting started like I was 3 years ago. So topdockpro, go to the link in the top. You're going to see all the tabs. Click on courses, and you can purchase that course there. If you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button now. Share the video so we can reach more people, help more people. Starke Yacht Care, amazing brand, amazing products. I love talking and I love sharing their products with you guys. And with that said, I will see you on the next video. Peace out.